Shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Basham, Wadash. Double honor also to the elders and the apostles of great millstone who rule well, pushing 100% to the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh and salutation to you sincerity that are pushing his gospel in all righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Alright, so it's your brother Abawan. What I'm going to go into is next little news clip. This news clip and I saw it 2 hours back. I want to do a video concerning it, but I completely forgot. So now it's come back to me. I just want to bring something out concerning it because this is beautiful right here. Alright, this is the proof sign that Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh, the angel and everybody else is putting in work, man. Most is putting in work to bring down this kingdom, to divide it, and to completely wipe it out. So because when I did a video concerning this, how the Most High is going to bring down Esau's kingdom. I said that the steps that the Most High, how Bashim Yahweh are going to take is to divide its kingdom against itself. Okay, so now what you have is what Egyptian against Egyptian, Satan against Satan. Now get all these precepts, of course. So this is basically what is going on. So I'll read the article a little bit and get some precepts and I'll close out. So this is the article right quick. The FBI has sent a memo to law enforcement agencies across the country warning possible armed protests at all 50 state capitals starting January 16th, and also says an armed group has threatened to travel to Washington D.C. the same day and stage an uprising if Congress removes President Donald Trump from office, according to a senior law enforcement official. Woo! So he is getting ready to he's getting ready to come up and go against E, man. This is all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh. So Barakata Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh, man. You put these two devils against each other, and you have made your kingdom to be divided against itself. So now you have what? Okay, you have Satan against Satan on this side, and these devils, they're completely against each other right now. The Most has turned, he has turned their, what I'm looking for. He has turned they are able to turn their swords upon each other. Just like the same thing that he did with our enemies during the time of Moses and Samuel. During the time when we were coming back to the promised land, that he would turn our enemies against each other, and then he would confuse them in the battlefield, so they would fight against themselves and kill each other. And then when we come to the battlefield, all we have to do was just gather up the spoils. Right now, this is what Yahweh is doing. He's dividing these devils, and they are just playing, like a field right in the hands of the almighty chess player, man. And I continue to the article, the next paragraph. The memo includes information provided by the ATF, the DEA, the Defense Department, Park Police, and the U.S. Marshals, among other agencies. According to the official, some of the information came from social media, some from open source, and some from other sources of information. The memo was first reported by ABC News. The senior law enforcement official says the FBI National Crisis Coordination Center distributed the updates to law enforcement agencies as a summary of threat information they've received following last Wednesday's deadly mob attack on the Capitol. And there was actually a video that I saw concerning this, but I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to get any problem with YouTube's copyright laws, because you already know how YouTube is doing this past couple of throughout the whole of this year. I'm not trying to get striked on any of my channels, okay? So I'm just going to bring out this article. So what this article is basically going into is that all 50 states, okay, every single state could have armed protests. These riots, you see these Edomites walking around the streets with their guns out. You know how these devils work, man. Because that's how it starts. The so-called armed protests. They will tell you what, they're just peacefully marching here to protest to protest the unrighteous government. To protest that their constitutional rights are being infringed and all this other nonsense. But wait a minute, this is Esau's government we're talking about. When were your constitutional rights never infringed upon? When was Esau's government ever righteous or ever moral or ever just? This is what Esau does all the time. Unrighteous decrees injuries which is gotten by deceit. I let me get some pieces concerning that. Sakia. Let me get that real quick. Let me get that real quick. Let me get the first one. Okay, Sakia. That was the Apocrypha. Sakia. Here it is. Ecclesiasticus 10 verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. That's exactly how Esau got his kingdom, man. Unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit. And this is all prophecy, because going to the next precept, it tells you that what? Woe unto thee that spoilest when thou was not spoiled, and dealeth treacherously when they dealt not treacherously with thee. Because when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when they cease to deal treacherously with thee, when you cease to deal treacherously, let me just read the precept instead of butchering it. Isaiah 33 verse 1, and it reads, Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Okay? And another precept to go into. I believe that is, as like I've forgotten the exact precept, because that is in the book of Revelation. Because everything that's happening right now, this is a complete situation of, hey, once again, Barakta Yahweh, Ba'ashan Yahushai, Ba'ashan Rachak Wadash, man. All praises, glory, and honor to the Most High. Because what is going on, what you are seeing is all prophecy, it's all fulfillment of prophecy, man. He is reaping what Esau, their whole nation is reaping what they have sown, man. Alright, so next week I want to get started the book of Revelation. He that. So okay, let me just change this. I think that is I believe that is Revelation 12. I don't exactly remember the exact precept, but let's go to bring it out. Okay, yeah, it is Revelation 13 verse 10, and it reads, He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and this faith of the saints. Okay, and then going about also into the Esau's blessing, what the scripture says, by thy sword shalt thou live. Alright, so what? And there's a note saying in the word, and that came from the scripture. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's why you see Esau and these devils doing what? Armed protest, because they're walking around with what? They're walking around their blessing, which is the sword. And of course, that sooner or later these devils are going to use that sword on themselves. So what you have now is these devils are going to point those swords at each other and going to kill themselves with that sword, And of course they're going to get of course they're going to get Jake to death and the like, because that is what would be what. Okay, Jacob's trouble, the race riots and the class riots that we're always talking about, but to start from what? These devils against each other, Esau against Esau. Let me get that. So when you see these things, when you see that these devils are planning on marching against each other, when you see that these Republican Trump supporting Edomites are going up against the Democratic Biden supporting Edomites, because they believe in because they believe that some form of injustice happened in the elections, and whether they're right or wrong, it ultimately does not matter to us, the Hebrew Israelites. Okay. It ultimately doesn't matter to us, because it doesn't matter who wins or who loses, man. As long as an Edomite is in power, that devil is still a devil, right? Alright, so here it is, the book of let me start from the book of Matthew 12 verse 25, and it reads, And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Alright? So that is basically it right there, okay? If you devils are against each other, your kingdom is going to fall. So once again, Barakataya Hawaba Shaya Shaiba Shamrahakwadash, man. These devils are going down. And and we are all here to witness the downfall and the destruction of this kingdom, whenever I bring out these precepts, of Babylon falling, or Babylon being destroyed, the precepts I always think about in my mind is, how Yahweh said that words, that he's coming to bring fire upon the earth. And what would he do? What would he say if it's already be kindled? Because he's already trying to kindle that fire all over the whole earth, with this whole World War Three, with the Civil War, right? With all the things with all the things they are seeing, and it's another thing that came into my mind. But let me get that preset first that I want to bring out. Let me just first bring out this precept. Here it is. Luke 12, verse 49, and it reads, I am come to send fire on the earth. What will I if it be already kindled? I know this is what he does in all these other nations. He destabilizes them, he sets up the people against each other. He sets up a puppet leader and makes the people of that nation to basically be divided and fight against each other, not in order to destabilize the nation, in order to get the resources he wants to get from it. Okay, he turned it to nations all over the Middle East. He turned it to Israelite nations, whether here in West Africa or whether in South America, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. He has done it all over the earth, and now it is being done to him, okay? Because what we were telling you about last year, we were telling you that the elites, they are done with America, man. They're done with Babylon. All that is left is for it to be completely destroyed, okay? Taking and taking and what all that is left for it is to be completely destroyed, taken and broken to pieces, okay? Which is another precept, which is another precept right there, okay? Babylon is falling. Merodach is broke. Yeah, Babylon is falling. Merodach is broken into pieces. Let me get that. Let me get that. Let me more butcher it. Jeremiah 50:20. So I mentioned Jeremiah 50 verse 2. So okay, right here it is. Jeremiah 50 verse 2. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard, and publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces, alright? And this is speaking of Babylon the Great, man, and all its standards, and everything that it stands for. The images of the beast and everything. That's set up for its democracy. Okay, it's religion, that partition Christianity. Okay, everything that Babylon the Great developed, this whole Americanization thing, everything now is being confounded. It's being shown that these things are all wicked, man. Esau has been completely exposed. That's what this is going into. That's what this is going into. That all its images, everything everything that it's created, that it's sent, that I published throughout the world, showing that this were all, trying to deceive the world into believing that these were all good things. It's science, it's philosophies. It has all been confounded. It has all been broken in pieces. It has all been exposed as wicked, okay, by the Most High. Going back to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, where it tells you that what then shall the wicked be revealed, who the son of perdition, the man of sin. That's what you are seeing right now, man. And now this wicked has been revealed, man. You have them fighting against each other. Satan is fighting against Satan. Satan is trying to cast out Satan. Satan is calling Satan a devil. The devil is calling their fellow devil brothers devil. That's what you are seeing all over the earth, okay? That's what the Most High said that word that you set up Satan against Satan, the Egyptian against the Egyptian. Okay, so let me get that preset as well. Let me just, yeah, it is Isaiah 19 verse 2, and it reads, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Alright, so what does this mean? From civil war to World War III, man, because it's not just going to be a situation where you have Americans, you have civil war in America, but all the other nations are straight, right? All the other nations are good. Nothing's happening to, you know, nothing's happening to Europe, nothing's happening to Africa, nothing's happening to Asia. What we're going to have is a civil war and World War III, okay? Because going back to the book of Luke, where it says that what a fire will be kindled on the whole earth, man. So this will be going on throughout the whole earth. So don't just expect Babylon to go through a civil war and nothing's going to happen to the rest of the earth, because you're going to have world war everywhere. You're going to have wars breaking out everywhere, conflicts breaking out everywhere, man. Right? Egyptian against the Egyptians, Edomites against Edomites, and all you two-third and heathen, that are living in this kingdom, that are wholly giving and wholly devoted to this kingdom. You're also going to be fighting against each other, man, because believing that words, you're fighting against it because this is your kingdom. That's why it says that. That's why it says Egyptian against Egyptian, because all those that dwell in the house of bondage, all those that believe that they are a part of it, shall be fighting against each other, man. And now, for for the last but not the least, let me close out with this. The final precept that I want to get, the book of Second Esdras, the 15th chapter. I know this was going to be brought out, man, because this precept is just too detailed, concerning what is going to happen in these times, because this is what everything that is going on right now. The whole march on the capital, okay, and this article talking about all 50 states could have protests. It leads you to it leads you exactly to here, the book of Second Esdras, right? So this book of Second Esdras 15, and I'll start from verse 14, and it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Once again, showing me that this is going to be a global affair, right? Not just going to be a civil war in Babylon, but it could but it could evolve all the way to World War III all over the whole planet, man. Right, Second Esdras 15 verse 15. "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with and their swords in their hands." And you saw an example of that during the raid, during that raid in the capital. And I continue from verse 16. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power." And the kings and the princes of Esau is their senates, okay? Going back to the Roman Empire, when they when they started having that senate, and you can read all about that in the book of First Maccabees, where it talks about how they the book of Maccabees talks about how they set up the senate for themselves. It's even recorded in the scriptures that the Romans did this. What this is going into is sedition. That is sedition, which is basically to rebel against the government. Okay, so they're rebelling against their leaders because, like I said before, they believe their leaders they believe that their leaders have betrayed them. Infringing on their constitutional rights, as it were. According to Esau. Anyway, according to Esau, anyway, like I said, that's not our business. It doesn't matter who these devils put in power. It's always going to be a devil at the end of the day. All right. So they are going to, so that's the reason why they are marching on the cap. That's the reason why like I said, that's the reason why they are marching on the building that this devil, the Capitol building, the building that there's basically in a way the building that has all their legislators and their senates in them in all these different states. All right, going straight to the house of their nobles, the gates of their nobles, and to commit their seditions, to invade them, not to invade them. And this is the second Ezra 15 verse 15. It has this situation has second Ezra 15 verse 15 written all over it. Okay, so now you see that these prophecies, they are going forth and they are being fulfilled and accomplished through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So this should let you know, man, that this kingdom is not, it's not even that this kingdom isn't long for in existence anymore. But this kingdom is completely done, man. This kingdom is out. It's getting ready to. It's getting ready. To be destroyed. It's getting ready to be taken out. So that was going to end it there. Let's give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahwashai, Ba'asham Rachak Wadash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the spirit of your Akam and your Akwat were edified. Shalom.